Oh, hi there. Good evening. Um, I cannot sleep right now. I slept during the day, and now I cannot sleep at night. At this particular moment. Um, that might have been all that alcohol I drank earlier or yesterday. At this point in time, um, but who's to say? Anyway, yeah, something very strange occurred quite recently for me. Um, Normally, to get to work, I've got to take a very, very early bus. It's the first bus of the day, actually. Um, Most often, not much happens. You do get what I call regulars, which are people you see quite often, and they're just going doing their jobs, whatever they do. Nobody really talks. Um, you do get, your riffraff. Um, that goes without saying, especially first bus of the day. But yeah, for the most part, it is actually quite safe. Um, anyway, I was super tired because it was dark out when I left. And anyway, I noticed that the bus was going to take longer than usual, a few minutes longer, and I saw that the bench seats were empty. Nobody was there. Because it's kind of awkward because they're really, it's not designed very well. So, if you're sitting there, then you're inadvertently super close to someone else. So usually I'd only sit there if there's nobody there. Um, Especially in the day and age of COVID and having a 6 foot distance from people where you can, especially um, in public places. Anyway, so I had one of those. I forget what the technical terminology is, but it was like a micro nap. I get those every now and then when I don't sleep properly, and that's a different video altogether. Um, so anyway, Um, I had my hood on, and the thing about that time of the day is if you don't have a dog, you're not a woman, and you're not jogging, so you're not in a jogging suit, you look like a bum. That's that's the bottom line. Is everybody looks like a bum at that time of the day. 'Cause especially if you got to bundle up because it's cold outside. So anyway, I'm sitting there at the bench, and I had one of my micro naps, and I was asleep for like, oh, maybe between a minute and 4 minutes. Is a bit on the long side, but I don't think it was that long. Didn't miss my bus, but something appeared in front of me. Uh, Definitely within my uh, less than preferred distance away from my persons. Um, and I heard him say, "You got any fentanyl?" And awkwardly, I answered, going, "No, I don't normally carry that one." And then I looked at him, and he may as well have been a giant potato for all it mattered. I didn't get a good look at his face at all. I couldn't see his face. I think my glasses were a little bit, they were on, but they were like, kind of something like that. Anyway, and then I noticed that he took the elevator and went down. Now, I'm convinced that this person was not a person at all, that it was really a Babadook. Um, because there were some unusual things. Um, I mean, for one thing, if he was, you know, mentally ill, homeless person looking for fentanyl wherever he can find it, he more than likely would have snatched my bag as I was mostly asleep. He could have easily done that and run off with it, but he didn't do that. I mean, there's nothing but a sandwich in there anyway, but that's not the point. He wouldn't have known that. And I know he didn't look into it either, because he was only in front of me for like 20 seconds. And yeah, it was a vulnerable moment for me because, I had actually legitimately paid to be there and I just conked out for a couple of minutes. That's all. And then got on my bus and, went to work. Um, there is a casino nearby and yeah, they're open most of the night and it goes without saying. I forget what that movie was called. I think it was 21 or something like that. Um, where they're cheating at casinos and they make obscene amounts of money. But anyway, the point is that they have undercover security there. Um, yeah. So I actually truly believe that that was a Babadook. And that was the closest one had ever gotten to me. Well, there were other times that was kind of a awkward, nearly not good situation to be in that I've made videos on. Um, and it's like they gotta obey a certain set of rules. And you know, I don't make these rules up. I barely understand them, but somehow, as no one would want to be in a situation like that. You never know if they're a deranged homeless person or not. Um, I mean, sometimes they look the part and they are the part. Other times, it's something almost otherworldly. And yeah, it's not a position anyone wants to be in. But yeah, there are other things that are going on in my life that are a bit more spooky than that. So at the time, I didn't elevate my blood pressure. Um, yeah, and that's basically it. So, the story comprised of maybe an event that happened in the span of, when I sat down on the bench to when that Babadook was going down the elevator, a couple of minutes at the most. Uh, and yeah, just a little reminder, I suppose, of being more vigilant in such situations. I mean, like I said, that particular bus stop is usually very safe. It just is. Most people are on there because they want to go to work. And there are people who, they partied it up the night before and maybe they're feeling a bit pukey or whatever. And you get those types as well. Um, I've yet to see a fight, like an actual physical fight, on this particular bus route. I hope that trend continues because I don't want to even see one, let alone be anywhere near it. And yeah, I'll be keeping my eyes out for any Babadooks, that's for sure. Because they're around, I know they are. And you try to rationalize it, and yeah, don't really have any answers. You'd never get the truth out of anybody about that, but you know, gotta use the old noggin sometimes. Anyway, have a good one. Good night.